Hi and welcome. I'm Desi Arnaz with Oasis Investments, and I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to come and watch this video. I don't plan to spend too much time on this video. This is not a training video. However, I do want to share with you some of the reasons that you may want to affiliate and work with us here at Oasis Investments over the next, let's say, 12 months during the year 2011. Because I'm going to share with you what I think is the very best way to make a wonderful living, full-time or part-time, in the real estate business with or without a real estate license. So let me just share with you what that is. It's called wholesaling, and what we do here at Oasis Investments is we wholesale real estate to investors. And by investors I mean rehabbers and I mean landlords. And so a rehabber is a person that buys properties, fixes them up, and then resells them. And a landlord, of course, is a person that buys properties and then rents them out. Sometimes they have to fix them first, but most of the time they buy properties that have already been fixed up, and then they just put tenants in them and they collect rent over the next, whatever number of years they hold that property. So here's what we do. We help these people find those deals. As a wholesaler, we tie up the property. When we find a really good deal, we actually make an offer on it, we put a deposit on it, we tie it up, and then we take it and we flip the contract to an investor. Investors flip houses and we flip contracts. And so we tie up these properties and then we flip the contract to an investor. That investor then closes on that transaction and pays us an assignment fee. That's in a nutshell what we do. But let me tell you the benefits of doing this. Number one is you can make some big money because in this aspect of the business you are a specialist. Not many people do this side of the business. Most real estate people, when you think of a real estate person, you think of a person that will take you out, show you a dozen houses, and then maybe you'll buy one of them. Who knows? But that's not what we do. Even though we are licensed to do that, that's not our specialty, nor is that our emphasis. The second reason that you might want to do this as opposed to traditional real estate is you get repeat business. You see, by working with investors, you're going to be working with people that you have relationships with, and I mean real relationships, because what happens is over time these investors will grow to like you and trust you, and they're going to be doing business with you repeatedly. Most investors will buy anywhere from 2 to as many as 30 properties a year. Now, if you happen to be their go-to person, guess what? You're going to be right in there making money on most of those transactions, if not all of those transactions. And so that's one of the major benefits of working with investors. It's the repeat business. Another thing I like about working with investors is that their decisions are not emotionally driven. They are based on numbers. I sold real estate, and I have had a real estate license since 1980. I've sold many, many homes to people that are buying homes to live in. It's always about, oh, I don't like the color of the carpet, or I don't like this location, or I don't like the color of the siding. You see, with an investor, none of that matters. What investors look at is the numbers, because if the carpet needs to be changed, they'll just change it. If the siding is the wrong color, guess what? They'll paint it. It doesn't matter, because the investors are focusing their attention on what do I have to pay to buy this property, what do I have to pay to renovate it, and how much can I sell it for when I'm all done. It's the numbers. I love that. Another thing I like about working with investors is that investors will make an offer first and then they ask you to go show them the house. Now, how's that? You see, because here's how it works. The investor needs to know that he can get it at his price. If he can't get it for the price he wants it, then what's the point of even looking at the property? And so what we do is we go out and we tie up the properties, we negotiate the best price that we can, and when we bring it to the table, the investor knows the price. So often they'll just make the offer, and then within 72 hours, or 48 hours, or 24 hours, whatever's in the contract, they'll come over and do an inspection and remove that clause from their contract. I love that. The next thing I really like about working with investors is fast closings. Now, what does that mean? Fast closings? Since we get paid at closing, guess what that means? It means a fast payday. Booyah! I love that. Our investors pay cash. They don't need to go out and find a financing. They don't need to go out and try to get approved for loans. They pay cash. I love it, and you will too. You get paid right away. They can close in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. Guys, I'm telling you, this is big, big big news. So you get paid fast, you get repeat business. I mean, what else do you need? Now, if you happen to have a real estate license, guess what else you can do? You can earn additional fees, anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 in additional fees on each transaction if all of the ducks fall in a row. For example, you could earn a fee for listing the property. You could earn a fee for finding a buyer. You could earn a fee for doing a mortgage. You can earn a fee for placing a tenant if you're licensed to do those things. And there have been transactions where I have done all those things. And I'm telling you guys, it's awesome. You can take a regular transaction and you can see $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 in gross fees on one transaction. And as I mentioned, your investor partners will be doing multiple transactions each month. And you're going to have multiple investor partners, aren't you? Now, another thing I really like about working with investors is that there is no evening work and there's very, very little weekend work. And that's because these guys don't want to see you in the evenings. They want to do business during normal business hours. They want to spend their evenings and weekends with their families, just like you do. So why not earn a six-figure income and still have your weekends and evenings free? Duh. I like it. I'm sure you will too. And here's one of the things that you really need to understand about what's going on right now. The real estate investment market. First of all, the market for houses, or properties I should say, and the market for investors. Let's talk about the market for the properties first. The market for the properties is huge and growing. With all the foreclosures that are on the market and all the new foreclosures that are being filed, there's going to be a supply of properties for months, even years to come. So many properties are already foreclosed and owned by banks right now. They're called REOs. Banks own millions, probably billions of dollars of real estate right now that they've got to get off their books. And those are great opportunities for investors. And you are the legs for the investor that's out there looking at those opportunities, you and I. And besides that, baby boomers are getting older. They're starting to die off. Not a pleasant thing to say, especially since I happen to be one, but it's a fact. The baby boomers are starting to die off. They're in their mid-60s, and you know, some of the people that are not that healthy are dying off early. Well, here's what that means though. That means that there's going to be a lot of real estate changing hands over the next 16, 17 years, because I guess there's about 17 years of babies during the baby boom years, right? As these people die off, that real estate's going to change hands. That real estate's going to go from the boomers to their children. And guess what? Most of the time the kids don't want the property. What they really want is what? When you inherit it, you want the money. And very often, as investors, we're able to negotiate super deals on those properties because we can close fast and we pay cash. You don't have to worry about financing. We can say to the heirs, look, we can have your money for you by Friday. Guess what? They love it. So pay attention to that as well. And finally, as far as the investors go, there's a bigger and there's a growing market of investors because so many people out there that have never invested in real estate have watched their 401ks and their IRAs dwindle. They've watched their savings dwindle. They're sitting there with credit lines on their credit cards, but they're afraid to use it. They're sitting there with credit lines on their houses. I got a call from a guy the other day with a credit line on his home. They need a place to invest this money. And we have just an awesome place to invest this money. We can help people invest this money as a rehabber or as a landlord and earn excellent returns on their money. So here's what my plan is. Very simple. I'm going to find 6 high-motivated, self-motivated people. And I'm going to work closely with those 6 people to learn this business. I'm going to mentor those people. And I'm going to do it free. Actually, it's not going to be free because I'm going to charge something that's more valuable than money. I'm going to charge accountability. But if you're willing to be accountable and you're willing for me to hold your feet to the fire, to be successful, to make money in this business, I will work with you and I will help you to do very, very well in this business. I've earned millions of dollars as a real estate agent during my career, millions of dollars. And I'm more than happy to help you to do that too. So here we are. The decision is yours. If you're interested, you need to get back in touch with me because I need to have you sign a new contract, because if we have one right now, for 2011, we have new contracts with accountability clauses in them. Okay, so get back with me and let me know if you want to get started, and then I will tell you about all the rest of the trainings and all the rest of the mentoring that's going to take place, but we'll do that one-on-one. Thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to working with you. This is going to be great.